Kerry-anne, and this is the Marshall Hangout. I'm hanging out with the incredibly talented Michael Plaxton-Harrison. Super!
How's it going?
I'm so good. How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Thank you.
Good hair day, hey?
Yeah, wash day.
Nice. Look crisp new shirt.
You got the shoes in the shot as
New
well.
sneaks. Dressed for the occasion tonight.
Yeah.
It's super cool to see you.
Right on.
Dude, you've been busy. You've been making new music. You've been making people happy with your awesome playing, as you do me every time I see you perform. You're just such a magic player, and I cannot wait for you to perform for us tonight. But let's talk about your adventures in the music industry. How long have you been playing for?
Did I ask you how you were?
I'm fantastic, thank you so
awesome.
much.
Where were we?
Your adventures in the music industry. How long have you been playing for?
Probably about 6 or 7 million seconds, I reckon.
How does that equate in years?
Okay. 20 years?
20 years,
Yeah.
give or take.
I don't want to give away my age here.
No, please, in your 20s. Popped out playing a guitar. So you've been playing for 20 years. What is it about the guitar that
22
excites you, that makes you feel the way you do and play the way you do?
I don't know. Sure, tough question. Should have a joke up my sleeve. No?
Boom, done. That worked out well.
Yeah, I guess watching like Jimi Hendrix and some of the guys in the 70s got me to playing electric guitar. And then, when I got into high school, I'd already been playing for a few years, and they offered music as a subject, which I took up classical guitar. So I ended up doing my grade 8 at school on classical guitar. And then, I don't know, I guess the love, I guess, when you're doing your classical stuff, it was more like repetitive, just getting the stuff right, and very, practice-based and perfection-based. So you spend a lot of time just going over the same stuff. I think I was practicing 4 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah, for a good 4 years. And music in front of you, just playing with music in front of you. I couldn't actually play without pages in front of me. So you're just sight reading and playing. And then I guess I got my love for guitar after that, when I built up a nice technique, and it took me a good 3 or 4 years to unlearn all my classical stuff and create like a little bit of a style of my own unique sound, and have my own voice.
Okay. Well, I think it's great that you had all of that as a base so that you could unlearn it but always go back to it. And I think it must have taught you such discipline, playing for 4 hours a day for 4 years, being that young.
Yes. So I was actually explaining to someone earlier, so in the discipline, I would have a bowl of flings beside me, and then I would do like my first 45 minutes, and then I'd have 5 flings.
No way.
Yeah, not the flings you're thinking about. And then
they both would get very messy.
yes, and then wash their hands, and then 5 more, then dinner with the family, and then try getting another 2 45-minute sessions.
Okay.
And then so you did well at guitar, so you didn't have to do your homework.
So that's what the answer I was looking for. Why did you start playing the guitar? Because you didn't want to do the other homework. That's
Yes,
the
exactly.
answer to that question.
Yeah.
Cool. And you also play so many different genres, if I can put it that way, and you play the guitar like a demon. It's very hypnotizing watching you play, because it's pretty. because you have so many different techniques, and because you're that good.
Wow.
But so effortless at the same time. So it's really beautiful to watch you play. But watching you play is, as I said, so beautiful. Why did you decide you wanted to perform in so many instrumental bands and as an instrumental artist without a vocalist?
Well, I think probably ego's got something to do with it. Playing with earlier groups, it was like, there's no solo in the song. Surely we can put a solo before the first verse or a little bit after, you know. So yeah, I guess I wanted a little bit of limelight for myself.
Yeah.
And yeah, and just to create melodies and things as such. So,
So you're saying you're not an Eddie Vedder or a
Huh?
Miles Kennedy behind the mic?
well, I think you can hear by the interview what my singing would sound like. Yeah, it's like a cat getting pulled by its tail. Something.
Okay, so you've been playing for around 22 years. Guitar, your first love, and you're just so damn good at it.
Oh.
So what bands are you performing in right now? Who are you performing with?
Okay, so we started a new project. Obviously, I've got my solo project, Michael Plaxton-Harrison, and I perform acoustic guitar with help from a loop station. So I set up like soundscapes and beats and things like this, and then I make music. You can check out my YouTube channel for that sort of stuff, or Facebook or Instagram. And
Well, let me stop you right there, and we'll carry on with the new project that you're working on in just a sec. But you're at your gig, you're at the loop station. Could you play us a little something that you'd play and then loop on your guitar right now? Is that possible?
or I could give you like parts.
Yes, give us a part.
Okay. I'm still in the tuning of the piece.
I find it so fascinating, all the pedals and the loop station and everything going down. And people are like, there's one guy playing and they're eating their lunch and then they're hearing tons of stuff going on and they look up and it's just you creating all of this magic. So yeah, show us a bit about that.
So, for instance, a number of mine called Gabriella, if you can kind of vision this, I would start off the piece with a... So if you could hear that, then so then I'd add the bass. On top of the bass, we'd add like a... And then from there, like I would add leads.
Wow, what a vibe. Fastest fingers first. 4 hours a day, 4 years. And another 4 to unlearn that and then add your own spin to it. That's so, so cool. So do you prefer to play in a band or solo or both? Do they have their own space?
Yes, both definitely have their own space. Playing alone is quite nice because you just rely on yourself.
And you have all the limelight.
You get all the limelight. It's great for the ego.
Yeah.
Yet you get stuck in your loop, so you've kind of bound to your equipment in a way.
You're
It is
feeding
not,
off each other, I guess, when you're in the band.
when you're in the band, you can let the songs breathe on your own, and I don't generally play the songs the same way, ever. A lot of improvisation going on, and with the band, it's really nice. I'm playing with a band, my band, Michael Plaxton-Harrison Trio, lack of a better name, on tomorrow night, actually, with Cesare on bass and Mlu on drums. And I hope this doesn't go out before then, because we haven't played together before, and I opted for no rehearsal.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I sometimes think that, I mean, obviously it's great to rehearse and it's great to know what fits in where, but I think sometimes when it's organic and just off the cuff, and you guys are such good players and you're just feeding off each other, then it kind of becomes half the fun, or all the fun, really.
Yes, yeah, it's like being alive. So the songs have got like basic structures.
Yep.
It will generally be my music, and I'll lead the kind of where the songs are going, and then give they're fantastic players, space to do what they will, and the songs kind of get a life of their own. And will never be played that way again, and the audience will never hear the song like that ever again. We'll never play the song. So it's quite interesting and unique.
That's so much fun. So tell us about the genres firstly. Let's talk about that. Let's touch on that. What genres do you play? Because I know that you play quite a few different genres. So let's chat about that, because you were in Grady Greg, you have this new trio, you've done a bunch. So if people wanted to book you for an event, if they wanted to check you out, learn from you, book you as a music teacher, for example, a guitar teacher for a lesson or two, what genres do you play?
Okay, so I do classical, including Spanish and flamenco. I do blues and jazz. No, I don't do jazz. I'm booked for jazz, but I think the audience, hopefully they don't know the difference. But so I don't really play jazz. It's jazzy. So Cesare is a fantastic, well-studied jazz player, and I actually went down the dark arts of jazz studying for 2 years, a couple years ago, probably about 5 years ago, and I got some lessons from Ches, the bass player, and after a year, he gave me a couple lessons, and then I took it on my own for a while, and like after a year, I said, I've got it. So I went, made a little voice note for him, and he's like, geez, it sounds really nice. Is it jazz? No. Okay, so I still don't have it in his books. So that's blues, jazz, country, folk. What else?
You can basically play the phone book.
Yeah.
So
I don't do the downstroke heavy metal too well. I'm a little bit out of practice. No.
Cool. So where can people book you if they wanted to book you either for a lesson or to play at their function or event?
I've got Michael Plaxton-Harrison at Gmail, and there's michaelplaxton.com. I'm changing it to michaelplaxtonharrison.com. My website, Facebook, Instagram. Those who want my number will have to get it later. And I guess just like that.
Awesome. He's a magic player and so easy to work with and so professional when he isn't being professional.
Been there.
But you've started an exciting new project. Tell us about that.
So a friend of mine, Tiger, was living in the UK, and he was doing some lessons with me, and he's a really good songwriter. So during the lessons, I'm like, you can learn all these techniques, but I'll play with you, and then you don't really have to. So I taught him a bit about chord progressions and how the ins and outs of music, and we co-wrote an album together. And he's a fantastic lyricist and songwriter. So we got Ches and Etienne in on drums, and we recorded the first 4 songs of an EP. The band's called Grey Weeks. It's on all the streaming platforms at the moment. Mm-hmm. So check that out. And then I did the MDing.
Yeah.
The production and the music direction.
Okay.
And I laid down all the guitars, like I said, Etienne Oosterhuizen and Cesare, something Italian, did the drums and the bass. Okay. And we went to Figure of 8 Studios to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, and Craig from Thinking Monkey did the engineering and the mixing and the mastering.
Nice. So if you're looking for some awesome new music, then check out Grey Weeks. Otherwise, book Michael Plaxton-Harrison. You can find him on all social media platforms. And of course, grab the music, give it a like, give it a follow, buy it, and book the amazing Michael Plaxton-Harrison. You also do music for adverts, for TV, for radio jingles. So he really is a man of many, many talents. And all of those little jams are so cool. And I have a question for you. If in the next life you had to come back as a guitar.
Oh, a guitar. Oh, here we go.
As a guitar. You were coming back as a guitar to someone who loved playing you. What guitar
would I be?
What guitar would you be?
Okay. Sure. Is this cabinet open?
It's not, because we knew you were coming.
Yeah. So I'd probably come back as a gold Stratocaster with a rosewood neck. Oh, it is.
it's going to walk itself over as if by magic.
Duh, 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 duh,
Do you not have, is this really the guitar you'd want to come back as in the next life?
Yeah, I'll be very happy to come back as this. This looks limited edition, Fender custom shop. It's all road worn. Yeah, I'll be pretty happy. I play Strats and I play electric. These are my go-to guitars. Yeah. So I'd probably go for the most expensive or vintage one of these.
120K.
120K, see?
Nice.
Thanks, Marshall Music.
That's a beautiful guitar to come back as.
And it's gold.
Done. And it's gold. You're golden. Golden boy, Harrison. Okay, cool. Show us some more stuff. Show us a trick or two on that guitar, if you can, before you perform an actual song for us.
Oh.
You're teaching me, because I cannot play the guitar, but I'm in love with guitars. I have 11 or 12 at my house.
Are they yours or your dad's?
Well, I buy them
Okay.
because I'm in love with them. My dad's a beautiful player, and I just never picked a guitar up. So teach me something magical.
Okay, well, quite a nice technique that I picked up a couple years ago, which I'm really interested in. And, most guitarists find it hard to get off like open chords. And then now it's like, okay, I play chords, but I don't really get like a melody. So like Jimi Hendrix and what's that guy everyone thinks is a douche? John Mayer, and amazing player. Use like a technique with something that's called double stops. So you can kind of like get a melody in your like chordal playing. So.
Wow, that's beautiful. See, I told you, hypnotized. I can hear the story. Bravo, bravo.
Trying to tune the guitar while playing, making all the good mistakes. Something like that.
But that was amazing. Thank you so
Okay.
much for that. I kind of got emotional. That was a beautiful little piece. Wow.
Thank you.
Before we go, who are your talking about people like John Mayer and Jimi Hendrix? Who are your go-to guys? The guys that just make you want to be better. The ones that you want to get your hands on every single mastered, unmastered, remastered, limited edition.
Okay, well, to list a few, like obviously Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits is really, I think, underrated actually. He's like a really good guitarist, and his solos are amazing, and songwriting and playing. There's John Mayer, there's like the B.B. Kings and Jimi Hendrix, and but that's all that kind of style. But my favorite band is Muse.
Nice.
Yeah, Matt Bellamy from Muse, and he's got a more like neoclassical approach to music, in my opinion, and then lots of like heavy riffs and stuff. So that's what I listen to.
Nice. Very, very cool. And what, in your opinion, is the most beautiful piece of guitar music ever written?
Wow.
Big question. Boom. Gun to your head. What
Is
is
there
it?
any jokes up my sleeve?
There's no jokes. There's no jokes up there.
Oh my word.
Putting you on the spot.
Sure, that's hard to say.
If you had to go to an island and there was one piece of guitar music or guitar heavy song that you had to listen to for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I'd probably listen to something from Tommy Emmanuel, who's an Australian, more like country kind of player. And he does a cover of, I can't remember the composer, but he does a cover of Classical Gas, which is a really impressive piece, and it's really nice to the ear. So I guess it's not the most soothing song, but it's really impressive. So on the spot, I'll go with that.
That's your basketball when you're Tom Hanks on an island.
Yeah, Wilson.
That's your Wilson.
Yeah.
It's been so much fun hanging out with you. Thank you so much for sharing those little sneaky tricks with us and teaching us a couple of things. It's been so fun.
Thank you for having me, Kerry.
Thank you for having me, Super M. And thank you for the KFC. You bought me KFC. Yay. I'll be having my pops after this. I'm getting my pop on. It's been so cool hanging out. Thank you for just sharing your time with me and with Marshall Music, and enjoy your gig tomorrow night, wherever it may lead. But check out Grey Weeks, check out Michael Plaxton-Harrison, and come and check out that amazing golden guitar at Marshall Music if you've got 120 smackaroos to throw around. Anything you'd like to add before you go? Sing a song.
Not like the last radio show we did together. Thank you very much for having me. Thanks for Marshall Music. Thanks to the film crew.
Awesome.
Cool.
Michael Plaxton-Harrison on all social media and digital platforms. We'll see you again soon. I'm Kerry-anne. This is Super M. We'll chat to you again soon. Thank you so much to the guys behind the cameras and to Dane Marshall and Marshall Music. Chat to you soon. All the best. Bye, Super M.